Hello, and thank you so much for volunteering to be a mentor with the CIC Business Incubator. Today, I'm going to walk you through a short onboarding presentation for our mentors. We'll talk a little bit about the background and who we are at the CIC. We'll talk about who it is that we serve, what we actually offer, our process, and of course, some expectations that we have for our mentors. So it all starts with LifeWorking. LifeWorking is a state-of-the-art flexible work and event space located in Lake Forest. We offer many services to individuals as well as corporations, but we wanted to do more for our community. So we started the CIC, or Community Innovation Collaborative, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that has two main offerings. First is the CIC Business Incubator, which we'll spend our time talking about today. And then we have the Student Innovation Center, which underneath that umbrella has two offerings of its own. First is a student entrepreneurial program with curriculum and even its own student incubator, as well as K through 12 STEAM programming. So back to the business incubator. We wanted to offer our communities more sustainability from an economic perspective by bringing more small businesses in and growing them to be successful. And that's where you come in. So first, it's important to talk about who our entrepreneurs that we serve are. In fact, some of them might not even consider themselves entrepreneurs. These are people who just have an idea or a dream and need it validated. These are aspiring entrepreneurs. We have business owners and small businesses that are already established, but are still in early stages and need help being successful and sustainable along the way, established entrepreneurs. Then we have scaling entrepreneurs. We work with clients that are multi-million-dollar companies that have to change or pivot due to some change in their environment, and we can help them do that as well. Next, let's talk a little bit about what tangibly we offer our clients or entrepreneurs. The first is the strategic process. We'll dive a little deeper into this in a bit, but generally speaking, all paths to success are different for different companies and different people. However, there are stepping stones along the way that everyone must cross. Next is a safe space, not just a physical space, but an environment that we create where all ideas can be shared. I want to remind you that in some cases, our clients have never done this before. They have a dream, they don't know how to make it a reality, and that's where we come in. But that can also be a very vulnerable time. So it's very important that we spend a lot of time listening and understanding and handholding as well. Funding options. So once the program is completed and you're ready to raise funds, we will help you get that process started, whether it's a traditional vehicle or introductions to VCs, etc. Next is a physical space, and this, of course, is LifeWorking here in Lake Forest. We are open to all of our mentors and our clients to do work free of charge. Within LifeWorking, we also have an ecosystem of other small and large, even large businesses willing to help anyone along the way. So networking and collaboration become very organic when you work out of our space. And then, of course, you, our expert mentors. So some expectations for our mentors. And I think at a high level, some of these may seem very obvious, but I want to put in context why they're so important. First of all is transparency. We are going to fail a lot as we start small businesses, and failing is important as long as we learn from those failures. But it's very important that we discuss and are honest with our clients about ideas or processes or execution that will or will not work. It's okay to say this is the wrong path. We should do this. And if you don't do that, sometimes you'll be leading your mentee or your client on the wrong path. Optimal organization. Starting and growing a small business is a lot of balls in the air, and they're going to need your assistance to make sure they're staying organized, they're prioritizing the right things, etc. Confidentiality. As I said, this is their life stream. It's very important that we keep all the conversations that we have in an appropriate way and keep them private. Accountability. This is both on the part of the mentor and the clients, right? If this relationship is going to work, if we're going to be successful, we need to be able to hold both parties accountable. And then obviously good communication. Not just telling people what to do or what not to do or making suggestions, but the why behind that so they can help understand why the actions they are taking are going to lead to their success. As I told you earlier, we'll dive a little bit deeper, but I'll still keep it at a high level of our process. As I said, the paths to success can all be different, but there are certain points where everyone has to cross. So our process starts with application. The clients, and you all have some experience with this because you applied as well, but the same process happens with the clients. They go through an application, they fill it out, it comes to a committee from the CIC where we evaluate and then interview that candidate. If they're accepted, they move into our onboarding stage. There's some paperwork and some stuff that has to happen here, but the most important thing that happens is the introduction or assignment of the lead mentor. This is another place that I'd like to pause and as a bit of a differentiator between the CIC business incubators and some other ones. We have two kinds of mentors: lead mentors and then subject matter experts. Lead mentors are responsible for shepherding the client through the entire process, for bringing in talent and advice and other resources from their own network when appropriate. But they are responsible for being the quarterback on the relationship and making sure things are getting done, the client's being heard, and communication is happening. Next, we have program execution. This is the planning stage. This is where you're figuring out what it is that you're selling or offering, how much it's going to cost, how much it's going to cost to make and deliver, etc. Performas, pitch decks. This is when you're trying to figure out what you now need to do, right? So at this point, you probably have thought, okay, I'm going to need to raise X amount of capital. And resource commitment is where we actually execute on those strategies. So you actually go out and raise the capital, for example. Next is launch. This might be the scariest stage for a lot of entrepreneurs because now you're really spending money getting your business off the ground and not yet making money. That comes in the startup stage. So once you are at startup, will have created a minimum viable product and brought it to market, and now you are selling your product or your services and bringing in money and then offboarding. I won't spend too much time on this slide because I'm sending it to you, but here are some of the tangible milestones or deliverables that have to be created in each stage. Not all of these things are appropriate in each stage, but I'll give you an example of a pro forma. We have some clients of ours that run a bakery. We have some client of ours that run high-tech software. Those pro formas are obviously going to be very, very different. But a pro forma still needs to happen. You still need to know how you're going to be bringing in revenue and where it's going. So like I said, the path to success is different, but in all cases, you do need to cross certain milestones, and we have these all for you. Last, I just wanted to point out something that you already know because you started your process with this system, but we've created a very easy to use, intuitive platform to not only apply and evaluate people, but also to project manage. So this is where, and we'll have further training for you on this, this is where you'll communicate with your clients, where you'll be able to share documents, take notes, schedule meetings, etc. And again, we have this all for you free of charge to help facilitate this process as quickly and as easily as possible. Once again, thank you so much. You really are changing lives. I appreciate you so much. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to us immediately. Thank you again and look forward to speaking with you in the future.